video was supposed to be out like a week ago for the NBA draft. It just made sense to draft doing the draft, but it don't matter. Today we're doing another tier ranking video where we're ranking all 60 draft picks, the best players that was drafted in that spot. Leave a like, subscribe, hit the link in the description if you want to suggest some stuff. Me and Jonathan are always working on it. Let's get into it. You might notice, but the tiers itself don't mean anything. We just here for the vibes and just trying to talk things through. First overall picks, as you can imagine, this is an S tier. You got Magic top 10, Oscar. We got LeBron top 10, Tim Duncan top 10, and we got Kareem Abdul-Jabbar top 10. You got 4 top 10 players ever. So yeah, we got the best point guard of all time, the best small forward of all time, the best power forward of all time, and the best center of all. Like, come on, bro. This is an S tier. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Yeah, let's rock with the S tier for sure. Second overall pick, Zeke, Isaiah Thomas, Jason Kidd, Kevin Durant, Bob Pettit, Bill Russell. All right, so I've been reading the comments, and y'all say that my tiers are so lenient, which I'm just a nice guy. What can I say? I like to give people credit. So if this is S tier, then this has to be A tier. These are all Hall of Famers. Of course, we got some of the best of all time as well, like Isaiah Thomas. Zeke is top 3 all time in point guards. Kevin Durant is one of the best small forwards of all time. Bill Russell, one of the best centers of all time. But if that's S tier, then this is A tier, right? Cool. Third overall pick. Wow. You got Harden, you got Jordan, you got Melo, you got Powell and Wilt Chamberlain. Second overall pick or third overall pick? Who's better? Okay, let's think this through. This is, I mean, they probably on the same tier. They're probably both A tier. But Jordan is the greatest, so he might bump it up to S tier. Carmelo, obviously, all-time great bucket getter. And in this role, he could kind of be like Olympic Melo. You know what I'm saying? And we know he could do that. Harden as the ball handler. Wilt Chamberlain doing some ridiculous stuff. I think this is also A tier because comparing it to like the S tier again, Powell's a future Hall of Famer too. But I don't know. Could they all be S tier? Let's make this A tier. Fourth, no. I do want to say though, the scale does start to shift, right? The scale will start to shift as we get later because it's harder to draft well later in the draft. Does that make sense? Okay. Let's see. Chris Paul, Russell Westbrook, Rick Barry, Chris Bosh, and then Dikembe. I'm changing the scale. I've decided to change the scale. This is S tier. This is S tier. This is A tier. How about that? Just shifted just a little bit. It's a really good team. 2 of the greatest point guards of all time. Chris Bosh, obviously great. Dikembe is one of the best defenders, and Rick Barry is also an all-timer. 5th overall pick, Dwayne Wade, Ray Allen, Scottie Barnes, Scottie Pippen, Charles Barkley, and Kevin Garnett. Again, if we are shifting, right, we are shifting the grading scale the later we get into the draft. This team obviously ain't got nothing on these 3 teams. But considering this the 5th pick, this is a great lineup. This is a, dare I say, near perfect lineup given the circumstances. I'm giving this an S tier. Again, it don't compare to this team, but considering it's later in the draft, I'm giving it an S tier. Damian Lillard, Adrian Dantley, Larry Bird, Jerry Lucas, Chris Kaman. Dang, that's the best center. And Chris Kaman's got a few years in the association for sure. B tier. And it's mostly probably because I don't know much about Adrian Dantley other than he had a couple seasons where he averaged 30. Or Jerry Lucas. I don't know a ton about Jerry Lucas. I mean, they got Larry Bird, who's a player, and then, of course, Dame Lillard. I'm going to say B tier. 7th overall pick has Steph Curry, Chris Mullin, Bernard King, Luol Deng, and Julius Randle. Another B tier team. Steph Curry, all-timer. A lot of all-timers here, but a few guys like Julius Randle's probably not going to make the Hall. He's still early in his career now. Probably not going to make the Hall. Luol Deng not going to make the Hall. So, yeah, that's not too bad. 8th overall pick has Ron Harper, Sam Jones, George Yardley. No! I mean, yes. There was a comment the last time George Yardley popped up that somebody that views the channel, I can't fact check this, says that George Yardley is his granddad. May he rest in peace. So shout out to George Yardley, man. Shout out to Pop. But he's here, and obviously in 1958 he led the league in scoring. I'm telling you, every time he come up, we gonna mention that fact. Deadlift strength from Jack Sigma. C tier. Does that make sense? C tier. Let's go C tier. 9th overall pick, Kemba Walker, T-Mac. Whoa. Again, as we start to adjust the scale, this is probably an A tier. Dirk, Amari, Havlicek, T-Mac, Kemba, just retired. That's an A tier. To be the 9th pick and get this many all-timers is kind of insane. 10th overall pick, Jason Terry. Okay, Paul George, Joe Johnson, Paul Pierce, Brooke Lopez. Also not a bad team, bro. Jason Terry threw me off a little bit to start off with, but Paul George, Joe Johnson's a 7-time All-Star. Paul Pierce, bunch of All-Star appearances. Brooke Lopez, all-time leading scorer in franchise history. It's a really good team. Who cares about the grade team? Well, A tier. Shea, S tier, right? Given that they are outside the top 10, they got Shea, Riggy Miller, Klay Thompson, Sabonis, and Miles Turner. Okay, so Sabonis and Miles Turner kind of bring it down a little bit. Sabonis obviously all NBA player a few different times, but Miles Turner never got there. But he's great. I'm giving it like A tier. I jumped the gun with S tier. That's an A tier team. A tier team given the circumstances. 12th overall pick has Tyrese Halliburton, Julius Erving, Cedric Maxwell, Thaddeus Young, and Steven Adams. Let's go B tier, C tier. Tyrese has a lot left in his career. Who knows where it's going to end up. Julius Randle, obviously great. Cedric Maxwell, finals MVP and stuff. But power forward, center kind of break it down. Thaddeus Young has had a long NBA career. Steven Adams, I love him as a player. Love him as a guy. I miss watching him play, but he ain't on the same level as some of these other dudes that's been drafted. 13th overall pick is S tier, as you all know. Donovan Mitchell, Devin Booker, Kobe, Karl Malone, and Dale Davis. It don't even make sense that the 13th overall pick is this successful. It is an S tier. 14th overall pick. Oh, wow. Tim Hardaway Sr., Clyde Drexler, Peja Stojakovic, Chet Walker, and Bam is an A tier team. Last pick in the lottery got that many greats. That's pretty dope. A tier. 15th overall pick. S tier? Steve Nash, Dale Curry, Kawhi Leonard, Giannis, and Al Jefferson? Bro, that team can hang, bro. Wow. S tier. Outside of the lottery. Great team. 16th overall pick is John Stockton, Terry Rozier, Hedo Turkoglu, Metta World Peace, and Vucevic. Again, considering we're later in the draft, I'm going to say B tier. C tier. One Hall of Famer on the list. C tier. 17th is Drew Holiday, Bill Sharman, Danny Granger, Sean Kemp, Jermaine O'Neal. We'll give that a good B tier. It's a solid roster. Drew Holiday is their future Hall of Famer. Not first ballot, but maybe in the Hall. 18th overall pick is Mark Jackson, Joe Dumars, J.R. Smith, David West, and Theo Ratliff. Probably a C tier. Good collection of talent, though, for 18th. 19th has Tiny Archibald, Rod Strickland, Tobias Harris, Don Nelson, and Zach Randolph. Which one of these teams is better? Wow. Which one of these teams is better? Probably 19th, man, by a small margin. So B tier. 20th has Gus Williams, Jameer Nelson, Karis LeVert, Larry Nance, and Zydrunas Ilgauskas. C tier. 21 is probably a B tier. Rondo, Maxey, Michael Finley, Boris Diaw, Ryan Anderson. That's a fun-ass team, bro. They got playmakers. They got shot makers. They got shot creators. Now, they're not going to defend very well. I'll admit that. But that's a fun league pass team if this team's together. B. Scott Skiles, Reggie Lewis, George McGinnis, Bobby Portis, and Jared Allen. B tier. World Be Free, Tayshaun. World Be Free, Tayshaun Prince, Alice English, OG Anunoby, and Wayne Embry. Considering it's 23rd, that's probably an A tier lineup, man. That's A tier. I'm putting it A tier. Kyle Lowry, Latrell. Wow, another A tier. Kyle Lowry, Latrell Sprewell, AK-47, Serge Ibaka, and Arvydas Sabonis. That's a nice roster. Defense added as world with the 3 and the 4. Some great passing at the center position at the point guard. You got a bucket getter and Latrell Sprewell, who A-button don't work. It's a good, nice roster. 25th, Mark Price, Tony Allen, Gerald Wallace, Nick Batum. 2 Frenchmen at the bottom of this. With Clint Capellas from Switzerland. What am I talking about? From Switzerland. B tier. C tier. George Hill, Aaron Brooks, Kevin Martin, Taj Gibson, Vlade Divac. Small backcourt, bro. Small backcourt. C tier. Shout out to Vlade Divac. 27th overall pick got Jamal Tinsley. Some of y'all was sleeping on Jamal Tinsley. He had a bang crossover that was out of this world. Bogey Bogdanovic, Pascal Siakam, Dennis Rodman, and A tier. S tier? A tier. Dennis Rodman and Rudy Gobert is the best defensive front line, or back line ever. Maybe, because Dennis Rodman did a lot as a defensive player. It's a nice team. It's a fun team as well. 28th overall pick gets Tony Parker, Barbosa, Jaden McDaniels, Dan Roundfield, and Greg Ostertag. C tier. Shout out to Tony Parker. Dennis Johnson. Ooh, I like this team. Probably a B tier. Dennis Johnson, DeJounte Murray, Tony Kukoc, Josh Howard, and PJ Brown. B tier. Give him a B tier. 30th, Nate Archibald. No. Nate McMillan, Desmond Bain, Jimmy Butler, David Lee, Spencer Hayward. That's an A tier team, bordering S tier, A tier team. Jimmy Butler and Spencer Hayward, they carry a bunch. You do got the lefty David Lee and Desmond Bain is dope. Nate McMillan, great defender. 31st overall pick, good roster. No Chill Gill, Doc Rivers, Bojan Bogdanovic, Nicholas Claxton, and Manute. Okay, what a front court. B tier. Javon Tomas Sadaransky, Rashad Lewis, Bill Bradley, and Zubac. C tier. Jalen Brunson, Joe Harris, Dante Cunningham, Brandon Bass, and Hassan Whiteside. I felt good at the top, didn't feel good once we got to the bottom. We're giving it a C tier. Mario Chalmers, Vontae Graham, CJ Miles, Jay Crowder, and Andrew what the hell is that? Is that a real player? D tier. Herb Jones at the 1. PJ Tucker at the 2. It's not a good looking team, y'all. They got players, though. It's not well constructed, but they got players. PJ, Draymond, and DeAndre Jordan, and Herb Jones. Defensively, that's even nasty. They might average 12 points per game, though. I'm still giving an A tier because the collection of talent this late is dope. But they're not a basketball team. They're just a collection of talent. You feel me? Carlos Boozer got to carry a lot of weight offensively on this team. But that defensively, who's scoring on that team? Mo Cheeks, again, one of the best names in the history of basketball. Malcolm Brogdon, Bob Love, Cliff, and Mitchell Robinson. Bob Love, Hall of Famer. Mo Cheeks, Hall of Famer. I think B tier. Nick Van Exel, Nick the Quick, Don O, Gary Trent Jr., Bob Mute, and then Rashawn Holmes. C tier. Louis Dampier, Spencer Dinwiddie, Chandler Parsons, Meta Okoro, and Daniel Gafford. It's not a bad team, man. Not a bad team. I'll probably give it a C+ tier. Yeah, I'm adding pluses 13 minutes into the video. Kevin Porter Jr., Ray Alston, Chris Middleton, Jeremy Grant, Jonas Jerebko. Chris Middleton's nice. C tier. Lance Stevenson, Monte Ellis, Josh Richardson. Yo, that's an A tier team, bro. Everybody on this list had a good NBA career. Dino Raja came over late, if I'm not mistaken, so he didn't have a long NBA career like these other guys. But like the top 3 dudes had long NBA careers. George Gervin is a Hall of Famer. Dino Raja has a My Team card that's a 99 overall, so he must have been good. Trey Jones, Katino Mobley, Jody Meeks, Jared Vanderbilt, and Yoke. The greatest second round pick of all time is out here. It's got to be an A tier, right? Even if the rest of his team is me, you, and everybody else. And Jokic is here. It's got to be an A tier, bro. He's the greatest second round pick of all time. Where's Paul Millsap, by the way? Patrick Beverly, Bruce Brown, Davis Bertans. Okay, C tier, maybe D tier, honestly. Eric Snow, Michael Redd, Steven Jackson, Trevor Reed. Oh, that's a B tier team, baby. Maybe I'm biased towards the lefty shooters and Michael Redd, but that's a B list team. 44. Ooh. F. Is that the first F? Ugh. D tier. Let's be respectful. D tier. Goran Dragic. Oh, wow. A tier team. Goran Dragic, Lou Will, Dylan Brooks, Bob Darrington, Antonio Davis. That's an A tier team. A lot of those players had long careers. Accolade winners, all NBA appearances for Goran Dragic, Bob Darrington. I don't know if he had an all NBA appearance, but good guy, I think. 6th man of the year. All defensive teams. That's a really good team considering 45th overall. Jeff Hornacek, Jordan Clarkson, Danny Green, Matt Barnes, and James Edwards, another A-tier team. I'm sorry. Obviously the talent it's not on the same level, but these dudes had long NBA careers. And when you draft them in the second round, most second round picks don't make it. So to have multiple people here with 10 plus years in the association is something to be proud about. A-tier. Mo Williams, Vernon Maxwell. Okay, I don't know Gerald Wilkins. Or do I? Yes, I do. There's Paul Millsap. Woo. And Tom McCullough. B tier. Craig Hodges, Craig Elo. Oh my God, 2 Craigs and a Cedric. Terrence Mann is the 4. Why is Cedric Ceballos not the 4? I guess it don't matter. Marcus Gasol, one of the greatest second round picks of all time too. That's probably a B+ tier, close to A tier. Eddie Johnson, Isaiah Joe, James Jones, Andre Blatch, and Leon Poe. I ain't heard Leon Poe's name in some time. C tier. Steve Kerr, James Ennis the third. Since when was he the third? Has he always been James Ennis the third? Okay. George Niang, Larry Cannon, a Spurs legend, and Lavoy Allen. I'm feeling a strong C tier. Monte Ellis, Cal Korver. I don't know EC Coleman. The last three I'm not very familiar with. I recognize the power forward's name, Funderburk, but I don't know anything about him. So D tier. Edmund Sumner, Fred Hoiberg, KJ Martin, Tamani Kamara, and then Steve Kuberski. D tier. Yikes. Probably a C tier. Greg Bugner, okay, yeah, C tier. Shake Milton. I'm waiting for one of these late 50s to be an A tier or an S tier. It ain't happening though. Shake Milton, Shannon Anderson, Sam Mitchell, Tremaine Folks, F tier. Who the hell? Shout out to recipes to Sam Mitchell. Patty Mills, Etwan Moore, Aaron Wiggins. Where's Bronny? I'm joking. But this is a nice team. B tier. Mark Blunt's there. B tier. We got Ramon Sessions, Al McGuire, Mickey Johnson, Luis Scola, long NBA career, C tier. Manu, Sasha Vazenkov, Jabari Walker, Trace Jackson Davis, who said he's going to make everybody pay for him falling this late in the draft. And Marcin Gortat. Some players here have long careers. Manu Ginobili, one of the greatest second-round picks of all time. I'm putting it in the A tier because Manu carries. Henry Bibby. Oh, my God. Minye Orney. Did he play for the Jazz and then he go to like an Ivy League school like Harvard or Yale or Brown or something? I vaguely remember you. Dark-skinned fella. With a fade. Jordan McRae, Kurt Rambis, and Paul Reed. I'm going to Google what school that kid went to because it's going to bother me if I don't know. He went to Yale. He was Ivy League Player of the Year at Yale. And then nowadays he's playing... Oh, he's still in the G. So he still got the hoop jerseys alive, man. Best of luck. But Kurt Rambis is a good player to have at 58. Same thing with Henry Bibby. B tier. Come on. Hello? Why is he here twice? He duplicated himself. What a guy. F. And then the last pick. Whoa. We said we was looking for an S tier. Obviously, we know Mr. Irrelevant is Isaiah Thomas. He went on to make an All-NBA team. Michael Cooper, very long NBA career. Drazen Petrovic, may he rest in peace, but he was a dope NBA player. Now, yeah, the 4 and the 5 ain't great. Robert Sacre started for the Lakers for a few seasons, but he ain't great. That's S tier. Yes, I'm putting him in S tier. The last pick in the draft being that good is unheard of. Sam Morrell might be able to take one of them spots eventually. Oh, undrafted. I didn't know undrafted was here. Hold on, let's get undrafted. Undrafted as Fred VanVleet, John Starks, Bruce Bowen, Udon, and Ben Wallace. Another S tier to round off the video. Can I get some applause? Yeah. If you enjoyed the video, leave it a like. Damian Lee just re-signed with the Suns, so that's breaking news. I got to film a video about it.